And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to cover most of the problems, so it would be just a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today, we're currently featuring over 1,530 recorded Qso-Vlog recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon, on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best copy for my 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations, QSA 5, to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many networks trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, beautiful copy. You're running between 5 over and 20 over direct. Direct and on a beautiful sunny day. Temperature way up about 24 degrees. And that is close to normal. Normal high is about 23, 2 or 3. So, you're doing very, very well, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Now, what's the snowfall situation up that way?
Roger, Charlie. Now, what's the snowfall situation up that way?
Well, so far, for the whole season, we've had 142 inches. 142 inches as of late yesterday, or midday yesterday when it all ended. We had a 6 inches yesterday. I guess it was over about 1 o'clock on the 25th. We had 6 inches. And this month has produced a little over 40. And on the ground, it is about 3 feet deep in some spots, a little bit less in others. But there's a lot of snow out there and a lot of roof raking that has to be done. I did have a contact last Saturday with KX4 Whiskey Charlie, Captain Mike Aeronautical Mobile, flying in the Boeing 767 cargo jet from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, out to Sacramento, California. And we started on 40 meters. However, this time of year, or at least during the, at least up till the present time, we had to use 40 because when it was getting dark, 20 meters, which we'd rather operate because his transmitters, the transmitters on these aircraft are only upper sideband. So we started on 40, and Captain Mike made the suggestion, check and see if 20 is open. Maybe it's open. We could try it. I tuned over there for a minute or so, and son of a gun, I heard some pretty loud signals. So I came right back on 40 and told them that looks like 20 is open if you're far enough west. And so we went to 20. 2 minutes later, we had a beautiful contact. I picked him up over central and then going into western Nebraska, where I signed off with him, and he was just about to enter Wyoming. So I have a little bit of Captain Mike recorded last, I guess, on the 20th of the month as he was heading to Sacramento over Nebraska on 20. And here it is. This is K1GZL. Here's Captain Mike.
Yeah, here's really a 5.9 plus here, Charlie. Great signal, like it was last year. So, yeah, I guess we can go back to 20 meters here and not be bothered by the band, upper or lower sideband issue there. So, yeah, great copy. How me over? I think the sound sounds a little different here. I'm using the number 2 radio there, and we're having the number 1 worked on right now. So I'm not sure if that does it sound any different to you? The audio a little bit using the number 2 radio. We're about 50 miles east of Scotts Bluff, Nebraska at 320. About to step up to 34. We're showing 365 knots at the moment. I'll listen for you tomorrow. K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, how'd that come through, Jim? K1GZL.
Oh, Charlie, just perfect there. And I'm wondering, 20 would seem now, I understand that he's got about 8 foot of antenna in his vertical stabilizer that he uses. So it looks to me like maybe 20 might be a better band because of that 8 foot as opposed to 40. It would be more of a wavelength to 20 than it would to 40, Roger.
More of a wavelength to 20 than it would to 40, Roger.
Yes, you are correct on that, but with the tuning devices they have, it's amazing how well it does even on 40. It does on 40, but I do think a little bit more. But you got to realize he was heading west, and the weaker part of the signal is off the back of the plane. Is off the back of the plane there, and that's what you were hearing. Him off the back. There must be 5 or 10 dB loss off the back. Off the back, because when he's been on the tarmac in the past, and they rotate the plane around to unload the cargo, his signal was always weaker off the back. Than it is in the front, but it's remarkable what you can do with 400 watts and an 8-foot piece of wire. So it's just incredible, and he's now in southwestern Virginia, and it'll be a week from this next coming Tuesday that he becomes airborne for another 2 weeks. I have not worked into Australia lately. I have not talked into Australia on 40 meters lately. Normally I do work VK3MO in the early morning. However, I have not been in touch with Igor. He was going to call me on the phone when he could get on, but he's had some antenna and transmitter problems, so that has delayed that a little bit. Beautiful day up here. As I mentioned, about 23, 24 degrees, and the low this morning early was exactly 0 Fahrenheit, minus 17 Celsius, 0 degrees, and right now it's as clear as a bell out, good visibility, and a very light northwest wind. And tomorrow on the 27th of February, we are expecting 2 to 4 inches of snow, probably changing into some sleet and maybe a little bit of freezing rain before it tapers off tomorrow evening. So it's a very active weather pattern, but no big storms. We're getting these little snowlets that hit us from time to time. I won't hold it too long, and I'll hope to catch you next week there, Jim. KX4 WC K1GZL, if you can hear me.
Roger, Charlie, KC9VKV. And Charlie, I was just looking at your reading on the Milford, PA SDR, and you were almost 40 over S9 on their Internet SDR receiver meter. Roger?
Meter, Roger.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We try to get the few watts out.
Yes, sir. Well, you certainly are. Let me say three's up that way, Charlie. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us this Friday afternoon as we begin a new Qso-Vlog net. And we'll say 73 up that way and catch you next Friday. This is Jim, KC9VKV, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we're recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV along with today's date, 2/26/21, and that will take you to this recording. If you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. We're now featuring about 1,530 some odd recorded Qso-Vlogs. So this is KC9VKV, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout. November 4, Golf Echo Bravo.
There's a November 4 station. November 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Yes, good afternoon. The call here is November 4, Golf Echo Bravo, N4GEB, and the name is Bob. Over.
Roger, Bob, and what's your location, sir?
Yeah, the location here is just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. The town's called Clayton, North Carolina. Over.
Roger, Bob, and what radio are you running, sir?
Yeah, this afternoon we're running the ICOM 7300, and right now I do have an old Heathkit amp on. We can try it both ways, but this old SP200 putting out roughly 500 watts. Over.
Roger, well, keep that amp running. Today is not necessarily one of those greater propagation days, so keep the amp on. Would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Oh, yes, very definitely, N4GEB.
Yes, sir, Bob. Well, it starts with engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do, so turn that compressor on at a 3. Roger?
Okay, so on 5, and I'll adjust that to 3.
Yes, sir. And then after we got that compressor on at a 3, let's move to the ALC with the mic gain in hand. And as you speak kind of rapidly, 100, 200, 300, 400, so you can see where the ALC meter is, adjust it to be running at mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control.
Okay, looking at it right now, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Looks like it's peaking up almost to the very top, so let me turn that down some. Below test 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit less, down to about 35, 40%. Okay, that's at 30%. Does that sound better? Over.
Roger, you're talking about your mic gain at 30%. Your ALC needs to be mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
Roger, right now it's mid-scale to 2/3. That's for the mic gain. Over.
Yes, sir. Looks good. 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly what you want it to be. Now, do you know where your onboard equalization for that radio is?
Yeah, I think I need to go into the menu here and go in, I believe. Okay, no, that's not it. Could you give me the instructions how to get there? Over.
It's sideband transmit equalization. Not exactly sure. Let me give you a note, and you can do it when you find out how to get there. The note would be +2 top end EQ from where you are. Boost your treble EQ +2 from where you are. Roger?
2 from where you are. Roger.
Yes, I got that +2. Over.
Roger. That'll help in your articulation just a little bit. And what mic are you running, sir?
Just a little bit. And what mic are you running, sir?
This is the stock ICOM mic. Over.
Sir, would you tell Jim Ferguson in that GTO said hello?
Well, I hear N9 GTO back in there. Stand by. Elmer. I'll be with you there in just a second. I'm just wrapping up with Bob. Let's see, what we were talking about EQ, Bob?
We were talking about EQ, Bob?
Roger, you said I should change the treble EQ to +2, and that's where we stopped. Over.
Yes, sir. I want to tell you about that hand mic. You must pull that hand mic further back towards the corner of your lips and work across it. Do not work straight into it. You were doing pretty well there earlier on. I couldn't hear any plosives, but that last transmission was fairly well, had a lot of plosives in it. So if you pull that hand mic back towards the corner of your mouth and work across it, you'll alleviate most all of those plosives, Roger.
Plosives, Roger. Yeah, I have to remember to do that. Sometimes they slip back into old habits, but this is speaking across the microphone now. Over.
Yes, sir, fairly clean. And, you can put a foam windscreen over that mic. You probably want to use some kind of tape, masking tape on below the windscreen to let you know that you're working the right side of it, because that windscreen does cover quite a bit of the hand mic, so you could get confused and be talking into the wrong side of the mic. But, like I say, a foam windscreen would help that hand mic alleviate all of the plosives, Roger.
Alleviate all of the plosives, Roger. Yeah, I've done that same thing on all my 2-meter 440 rigs here. Ended up, there's a fairly small opening on those mics, and ended up using part of a windsock over just that area, and that worked out quite well. So I'll see about doing that on this microphone as well. Over.
Roger. That and +2 treble EQ from where you are will really help your articulation, Roger.
Yeah, I made a note of that, and if I could find where that's at, I would do that. And as soon as we finish up here, I will, dig a little deeper and find it. Over.
Roger. Well, let me say 73 to you, Bob. Thanks for dropping by, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll, hopefully by then you'll have cranked in that additional 2 clicks treble EQ, and we'll see what you sound like, Roger.
Roger, and if you would go ahead and give your call again, just so that I can make a note so I can listen to this on your website there. Thanks a lot, and 7-3s. This is N4GEB.
Roger, Bob. Call is Kilo Charlie on a YouTube search. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 2/26/21, and that will take you directly to this recording on the YouTube search. Roger.
Roger, appreciate it. 7-3s, N4GEB.
Roger, Bob. Now, let me find my Elmer. He's out there in the hinterlands. He's running a kilowatt. I've got to find out where I can copy him best. Elmer, come back and give me a little chatter and let me look for you, Roger.
At the farm, they're at the farm with a little chatter, and you can go around to your SDRs and different places and so forth. With 100 watts and a wire, N9 GTO, hello?
Well, I found you in Georgia. I did find you in Georgia, Roger.
Well, you found me in Georgia. That's a good place to be.
Well, Roger, better than nowhere. What you been up to, man?
I have to explain to you over the phone. It's been a very, very interesting time.
Roger. Well, I hope it was a good time, Roger.
Well, not really. Had to do the infusion thing every day for like several weeks, and now I'm doing it once a week, and then after next week I'll be doing it every 2 weeks. So it's infusion. So, but I'll explain it all. Hopefully in 6 months.
All right, Elmer. Well, gosh, you just faded out of Georgia for the moment. Come back and let me hear you some more and see if Georgia came back, or I got to go somewhere else, Roger.
All right, well, I'm going to
go somewhere else. The line time's up, and I'll say 73. Have a good one, man. GTO, and I'll chat with you later.
All right, Elmer. Thanks for checking in. Gosh, I hope everything is all right. We'll huddle on the phone for sure. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out? Give me a shout. Want to check out?
I caught the tail end of somebody on Milford Station calling. Come back and try it again. Slowly, phonetically, please.
Try it again. Slowly, phonetically, please.
No copy. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Again, try it. The loudest station. Try it again.
The loudest station. Try it again. W1IPN.
W1 IPS. And what's the name there, please?
Yes. And what's the name there, please?
William 1, Ida, Peter, Nancy.
IPN, Roger.
IPN, Roger.
William 1 IPN, Roger.
William 1, IPN, Roger.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking with somebody else. William 1, IPN. Good afternoon to you, KC9VK. I have a different microphone this week, and I'm wondering what you think of it. Go ahead.
Roger, what's the name there, sir?
Roger, what's the name there, sir?
The name here is Earl, and we have spoken before.
Roger, Earl, and where are you, sir?
Roger, Earl, and where are you, sir?
I'm in, I'm in an unusual place, about 100 yards from Charlotte, North Carolina, but I'm in South Carolina.
Roger, South Carolina, and what radio are you running?
South Carolina, and what radio are you running?
I'm running the IC7300, and right now about a little under 500 watts.
Already, and so if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, just to double check, your compressor is engaged at a 3. Is that a Roger?
Is engaged at a 3. Is that a Roger?
The compressor is in 3. I got to change that actually. And mic gain 50%. And I'm using a Heil headset. I think it's called a Pro 7. Go ahead.
Roger. So now your compressor is engaged at a 3. Is that a Roger?
Engaged at a 3. Is that a Roger?
Yes.
All right, then let's. I want to straighten that headset out if we can. Take that boom mic, run it out as far as you can in front of you. Run it straight out as far as you can in front of you, and at the last minute, make a 90 to bring it in front of your voice. But we want to get it out as far as we can in front of you, Roger.
Out as far as we can in front of you, Roger.
Okay. That's probably it there, I think.
Yes, sir. Now, let's go to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, we want to adjust that ALC to run mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
By way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay. Oh, boy. Gain here, huh? Because 1, 2, 3, hello, 1, 2, 3, hello, 1, 2, 3. My gain is about 7. I think 75% is going to what it takes here. Actually, yeah, that's even 80%. There we go. I think. Okay, let's see if that works.
Yes, sir, that's looking good. That's about 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly what we want it to be. And you notice the mic gain difference between where you were and where you are now. You are now much better as far as being protected from plosives. You know, when you were up tight like that, you were getting quite a bit of blow-by there from the plosives and stuff. So now that you've moved the mic further back, it is less subject to that. Plus, your equalization curve is a lot better now. You were getting a proximity effect because you were closer to that mic. So what I want you to do now is, if you would, give me 10 seconds about your antenna system, Roger.
About your antenna system, Roger. Okay, I think you asked me about my antenna system. A great deal of trouble copying it on that round. My antenna system is a dipole made from ham sticks. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay, do you know where your equalization page is on that radio?
Page is on that radio. Yes, I do. And I know how to find it, I think.
Well, we have an interesting situation here. Somebody must be 1 kc off the frequency doing a little modulation. I mean, we've only been here for half an hour. You know, what person would go 1 kc off a frequency in operation for a net and start a conversation? Only somebody that lacks any kind of knowledge about what they're doing. But anyway, Earl, we're looking for a little activity on your equalization. Have you found your EQ, Roger?
Have you found your EQ, Roger?
Hello, Earth to Earl. Do you copy?
Hello, Earth to Earl. Do you copy?
This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net, in Qso with W1IPN, Earl in South Carolina. Earl, do you copy?
Carolina, Earl, do you copy? Just now. I don't even know if you've finished talking, and I do apologize, but that's the way conditions have been these last 2 days.
Yes, sir, Earl. Well, let me give you a note to self when you find your... are you on your EQ page now?
Are you on your EQ page now? I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Earl, are you on your EQ? Have you found your EQ page now?
Have you found your EQ page now?
Hello, Earl. KC9VKV, have you found your EQ page on that radio?
Found your EQ page on that radio.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. Mr. Earl, do you copy?
Mr. Earl, do you copy?
And nothing heard. Maybe Earl went to another frequency inadvertently or something. I'm not really sure. I'm sure he's got a copy on me. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Earl, do you have a copy, sir?
Earl, do you have a copy, sir?
Negative contact. All right, Earl is gone. Bye-bye for some reason. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Listening on my local antenna. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 0, Kilo Yankee Echo.
There's a Kilo 0 station. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, sir.
All right, Kilo 0, Kilo Yankee Echo.
Kilo 0, Kilo Yankee Echo. Roger, roger.
Roger that. This is Kyle out in Iowa. I've called you in the past, Jim, and thought I'd give you a call today. I just happened out into my farm shop see how it sounds today.
Yes, sir. Well, I've got a pretty good copy on you on my local antenna. Well, what I want you to do is give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system so I might listen to you, Roger.
Roger. I'm using a random wire antenna going into a Johnson Viking matchbox that is connected to an old Yaesu FT101EE and a Collins 3001 amplifier. It's pushing about 500 watts today. Back to you.
Running a 101E, is that a Roger?
Yes, Roger that.
Okay, it sounds like maybe we might double check our setup procedure. Your compressor should be engaged at a 3, Roger?
This radio doesn't have a compressor, I'm afraid. It's the old economy model and does not have a processor in it.
All right, we can skip that. Go to your ALC then and adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, I'll do that. I've got, let's see, hang on a second here. ALC is running right at the point, right in the middle.
Right, we want to run it just a little bit hotter than that. Mid-scale to 2/3 is the ideal place. Roger?
Is this any better? I got the mic gain set up just a touch.
Roger, well, you tell me. I'm looking for you to read your ALC at mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
All right, ALC now is at about 2/3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I'm assuming that radio does not have any onboard EQ. Is that a Roger?
Most definitely.
It does or does not?
It does not.
Yes, sir. Okay. How about how far away from the microphone are you working it now?
Right now I've got the microphone about 2 inches from my mouth, and about an inch down.
All right, I want you to move it back 4 inches. I want you to move back from that mic 4 inches, and let me hear you.
Okay, here's 4 inches away. How's that sound?
Okay, 4 inches is a lot more articulated than 2 inches. I guess you're getting bass buildup from proximity effect. 4 inch. I would run that mic and use it 4 inches away from my mouth. Roger, the EQ pattern is a lot better there. Since we don't have any onboard EQ, we're going to have to use the way we address the microphone to help us achieve a more intelligible EQ curve. Roger?
Okay, I'll bear that in mind and keep that for future reference.
Yes, sir. Now I want you to go back to your ALC, and as you continue to work that mic 4 inches away, I want you to readjust your mic gain control to where your ALC is now a mid-scale to 2/3. Because when you move back, your level's going to drop a little bit. So in the new position, 4 inches away from the mic, I want you to set that ALC at mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Okay, I'm going to try turning this up. Hang on just a second. Can you tell any difference at that?
I'm relying on you to read your ALC meter. Your ALC meter on that radio is the Bible. It'll tell you more about what that radio is doing than I could possibly. I know where I want it to be, and I'm counting on you to, with your mic gain, to set it at mid-scale to 2/3. But I want you to stay that 4 inches away from the mic.
Okay, there I've got the ALC back up to where it was when it was 2 inches from my mouth.
Roger, now you're 4 inches. Roger?
Correct, roger that.
Okay, I think we about got it there. Unfortunately, we don't have onboard EQ to be able to shape it a little tighter, but we do have a little more top end now that you've backed off some. But I would leave that radio in the ALC mode for a while till you become used to working it at the 4 inch mark. Because if you forget and start running it 2 inches away, I want you to be able to see it on the ALC meter and say, "Whoa, I got to stay back some."
All right, that's good to know, Jim. I'll do that.
Yes, sir. And like I say, I think you're in better shape now. If you want to hear what we did, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 2/26/21, it will take you directly to this recording. Give us 48 hours to get it uploaded. Roger?
I'll do that. I always enjoy your YouTube videos. They're great fun to watch.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for dropping by. And then if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We're here usually 3:30 till 5. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
73, Jim. Thanks for taking my call.
November 4, Golf Echo Bravo.
There is a November 4 station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yes, good afternoon. November 4, Golf Echo Bravo. We just spoke a little bit earlier, and I did find the EQ setting, and I've set it on +2 now, according to your instructions. Over.
That was the treble EQ. It sounds heavier than what it was. Are you sure you did the treble or not the bass?
The bass is set on 0. Again, the bass is set on 0. The treble is on +2. Over.
Yes, sir. Okay. Remember about that mic. You must move that mic back to the corner of your mouth. We're getting a lot of blow-by there, Roger.
Okay. You got to remember to do that. Does this sound better?
Give me the best thing you like about your radio in about 15 seconds, and let me hear you.
All right. That's good. Best thing I like about this radio. Is the band scope. The band scope is very to it that normally you would have to get. To purchasing the radio, like on my old Tentec rigs and Elecraft, there was a lot of extras that you had to add. This one seems to have it all in one. How's that? 24GEB. Over.
Roger, might need to do a little work on the bottom end. I think earlier I was copying you on one of my SDRs, and SDRs are notorious for rolling below 300 cycles. My local receiver is good down to 100 cycles, and now that I'm on my local receiver, you do sound a little heavy on the bottom end. So let's go back to EQ, roll 2 on the bottom end, minus 2 clicks from where you are on the bottom end. Roger?
Roger, I'm on the tone control right now, and this is 2 clicks down on bass, 2 clicks up the neutral point on treble. Over.
Yes, sir. And continue. You need to move that mic further back. You move it further back towards the corner of your mouth. Roger?
Okay. Just better. Sorry about that. Forgot to kick the amp on. Yes, this is further away, more on the corner of the microphone, so that hopefully the enunciation is a little better. Over.
Yes, sir. Now I want you to go back to your ALC and double check your level. We want mid-scale to 2/3, and by way of mic gain control. So we have played a little EQ there, and when you do EQ, you need to go back and double check your ALC. Roger?
Roger, I'm back to the AOC now. We're speaking between 50 and 75%. 50.
Boy, I tell you, we have got some folks. Anyway, this is Bob. Roger? GEB is Bob? Anyway, Bob, I think we're in a lot better position now. Just to double check, I would leave your ALC in line there so you can see what you're doing. The magic numbers are mid-scale to 2/3. I think your EQ pattern is a lot more articulated now. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do call it a search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 2/26/21, that will bring up this recording. And let us get 48 hours to get it uploaded. Sometimes, a lot of times, we're a lot earlier than that, but we do request 48 hours as an outside time. Roger?
Roger, appreciate that. Appreciate the time you take to do this. Like I said, it's kind of hard to figure what you sound like on the other end. Report like this. So 7-3, I wish you the best, and may the rest of your afternoon be QRM free. 7-3 and 4GEB clear.
Roger, GEB. Well, that would be unbelievable if that were to come to pass. And it came to pass. There was no QRM, but the receiver was broke. That's about the only way that's going to happen. 73, Bob. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 9, Victor, Papa Radio.
There is a Whiskey 9 in my life. Whiskey 9 station. Come back slowly, phonetically, with the call sign.
Whiskey 9, Victoria, Papa Radio.
VPR, what's the name there?
The name is Harry, Jim. I talked to you last week. I was able to download the manual like you suggested, and now I'm curious how I sound. Over.
Come back and tell me about your antenna system, and let me hear you.
Yes, sir. I have a Vibroplex in-fed dipole. It's a multi-band. The top is about 50 feet. The bottom is about 6 feet. QSL.
Roger, Harry. And what's your location, sir?
I'm in North Augusta, South Carolina.
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running?
I am a Kenwood 440, and I'm running about 90 watts right now.
Yes, sir. Now, your microphone makes a heck of a lot of noise when you key and unkey. I'm not really sure why that is. Try a TLC on your key and unkey, and let me hear if it's just your manlyhood that's causing that, or what.
So I'm not sure if I understand. You want me to key it just by itself?
You did it. There's a lot of mechanical noise with that mic when you key it. I'm not really sure why it is. Is that a hand mic or a desk mic?
It's a hand mic. It's the Kenwood hand mic.
Yes, sir. Well, it makes enough noise to equal your voice level going in, and enough noise level to raise it to the point of your voice, and it keys out. And you might give that a little shot of a WD in the contact area there where the push button is. Maybe that might make it work a little quieter, Roger. Just a slight shot, you know.
Okay, roger that. Thank you. Would you have any recommendations for other mics?
I don't offhand. Is that a dynamic or electret?
As I said, it came with the radio. It's just a handheld Kenwood mic.
Yes, so I'm assuming it's a dynamic. Well, gosh, I really don't. But I'm sure there are, maybe a desk mic in your life that might be a lot quieter than that hand mic, Roger.
Roger that. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And the ACL, I have it set at about a 2. Does that sound correct?
We want to set that ALC at mid-scale to 2/3. Compressor we want at a 3. Compressor at a 3, and your ALC should be running mid-scale to 2/3, and you would adjust that with your mic gain control.
Okay, well, there's the 3 on the ALC, but it's throwing the meter way to the right, too far over.
Yes, sir. What I'm saying, you don't want to be out of your ALC range. You want to be half that, mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC range, Roger.
Roger that. So let me turn it down as I'm speaking. So now it's down lower. Does that make any difference? Over.
You look pretty good, but we definitely do not want to exceed the speed limit on your ALC scale. Want to be mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter.
Yes, sir. I understand. Okay, very good. I really appreciate your help. I watched the video last week, and it was very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Harry. I'm glad you got to. And again, if you want to hear yourself on this recording, it's KC9VKV, and the date 2/26/21 on a YouTube search. Roger. And Harry, I don't know whether you turned your amp off or Mother Nature got you, but I didn't copy you that last time, Roger.
Roger.
Whiskey, Papa 4 Lima, 159 plus here.
So, Harry, let me say 73 to you, sir. And I think we got it. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out.
Try it again.
Kilo Romeo 4 Whiskey X-ray.
Kilo Romeo, what was that? The station with the X-ray?
Kilo Romeo 4 Whiskey X-ray.
Kilo Romeo 4 Whiskey X-ray, Roger. You need to, is that a hand mic you're using?
I got Icon 7300 with a hand mic, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, move that hand mic back towards the corner of your mouth. You can't work directly into it. You have plosives that are louder than your words. Move that mic further back towards the corner of your mouth and work across it.
How does this sound here?
Yes, sir. It's a lot cleaner. Now, what we need to do is go to your EQ, and we need to roll 2 off the bottom end, off the bass EQ to begin with. Roger?
Go to your what?
Your equalization. What radio are you running, sir?
Icon 7300.
Yes, sir. Well, go to your equalization page, and we want to go sideband, transmit, EQ bass, and roll it off 2 clicks from where it is.
Well, I reckon I need to go to menu first, right?
It's your radio, sir, however you want to do it. Do you know where your EQ is? KR4WX, do you copy?
Roger, I copy.
Yes, sir. What's the name there?
David.
All right, David. Let's start this thing with our normal procedure, I guess is best. Do you know where your compressor is?
And Roger, I'm just turning it down a little bit.
Yes, sir. We want it turned down to a 3. Our setup is generic in nature, but it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Roger, that's where I got it at.
Yes, sir. Now go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak kind of rapidly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so you can get the meter up to see what it's doing. With your mic gain, adjust your ALC meter to where it's running mid-scale to 2/3.
Well, as soon as I find the ALC, that's what I'll do. I'm new to this radio, and it's kind of aggravating sometimes.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me give you some notes so you can take notes to self. And that is go to your ALC when you find out how to get there. And as you speak rapidly and transmit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, with your mic gain, adjust the ALC to where it is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter. Roger?
Roger, roger.
All right, and then once you get that, I want you to go to your EQ, your equalization page, the sideband transmit equalization, and I want you to roll 2 clicks, bottom end, bass roll. I want you to roll 2 clicks minus on your bass EQ. Roger?
Roger.
And I think that will get you in pretty good shape there. You might, depending, well, let me just say this, maybe 2 clicks boost on your treble EQ. 2 clicks boost on your treble EQ, 2 clicks roll on your bass EQ. You do those 2 things on your equalization, and you should be in really good shape.
All right, we'll try that. Appreciate the help.
Yes, sir, and just be sure and work that mic towards the corner of your mouth. It'll be a lot less plosives fighting your words.
Roger, roger on that. Okay, thank you for your help. 73s, what kind of signal report have I got there?
Well, let me come back and just give me about 4 or 5 words.
Okay, 73s, I hope you have a great day and appreciate your help. KR4WX, clear.
It looks to be about 15 over, and I'm not giving you an actual S meter reading. I am giving you a VU meter reading. I have my VU meter tied to the audio out of this receiver, and when you cease speaking, it reads the noise level. So you are 15 dB over my noise level. Good signal.
Roger, where are you at?
I am just across the river from Louisville, Kentucky, just across the Ohio from Louisville on the Indiana side. Roger.
Roger, I'm in North Carolina, right on about 65 miles from the coast, sir. I thank you for your help, and I'll see if I can get this done like you said, see if it'll work for me.
Yes, sir. I would pull that mic even further back towards the corner of my lips. So the further back you get, the better off you're going to be. But you need to also, at some point, go back and double check. After you do your EQ number, go back to your ALC and double check for mid-scale to 2/3. You may have to bring your mic gain up some to get that ALC meter reading mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Roger, roger. Okay, thank you for your help. We'll get back to you later. KR4WX, clear.
Roger, roger, 4WX. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. At 3 stations, loudest one, come back and try it again.
Alpha Charlie 5 Delta Mike.
Alpha Charlie station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Alpha Charlie 5 Delta Mike. Delta Mike.
Alpha Charlie 5 Delta Mike, is that a Roger?
QSL, Roger.
Okay, and what's the name there?
The name is Daryl. Delta Alpha Romeo Romeo Echo Lima Lima.
Roger, Daryl. And where are you, sir?
I'm in Ruston, Louisiana.
Roger that. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running an Icon 7300 with a HAL CR781 mic, running about 1,000 watts on the G5RV.
Yes, sir. I did not have that good a copy on my local antenna. I moved off to the Georgia SDR. I'm copying you a little bit better. What I need for you to do is, if you're interested in our setup procedure, it starts with the compressor and engaged at a 3. Compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
Engaged at a 3. Roger.
Roger. I have my compressor at a 3. My mic gain 65, and I'm about mid-scale on the ALC.
All right, we want just a little bit hotter on that ALC. Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
Is that any better?
Well, you tell me. I'm looking for mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger.
2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's looking somewhat better. Now, I want you to give me 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system. This is KC9VKV. Daryl, do you copy?
VKV, Daryl, do you copy? He's coming back to you, but he's dropped down.
Roger, let me look. Daryl, give me 10 seconds on your antenna system, and I'll look for you in a better path. Roger?
Roger.
About my antenna, it's a inverted V, double bazooka. Roger?
Okay, I'm back on my local antenna. I've got a fairly good copy on you at the moment. I think you need maybe a little more top end. So if you know how to get to your EQ page on that 7300, let's go there and give me a 3 clicks boost top end EQ.
Okay, I'm not sure about the EQ on this radio. I can give you bass and treble, but I'm not sure where the other is.
That is it. That is equalization, EQ. So if you're on that, give me +3 from where you are on your treble EQ.
Okay, that's +3 on the treble.
All right, and then tell me something about what you like best about your radio, so I might hear your audio again.
I think it's a great radio. Hadn't had it a whole long time, just kind of getting used to it there, Roger.
That's okay. Intelligibility is very nice now with your EQ pattern. I want you to verify that you are on 3 on your compressor. Your compressor is engaged at a 3, Roger?
Roger. My EQ, my compressor is at a 3. Compressor is at a 3.
All right, and now I want you to go back and double check your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control. Whenever you do an EQ change, you need to always go back to your ALC and be sure you're running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Roger. I may be a little higher than half, if I'm reading this right.
That's right. Mid-scale to 2/3 is what you want. Now, the other thing is your band pass. And I want you to be in the 100 to 2900 band pass. 100 to 2900 band pass on that 7300. Yeah, and Daryl, if you don't know where that is, I'll just give you notes for that, and you can look it up at your leisure. Roger?
Roger, I'm going to have to look it up because I'm not exactly sure where to get it.
Yes, sir. So note to self, when you find how to get to your band pass, set it at 100 to 2900. Matter of fact, there's 3 selections. You might convert all 3 to reflect 100 to 2900. That way you cannot run that radio in any other mode but 100 to 2900, which is the best possible mode that you can run, and there's no reason to actually compromise that. Roger? 100 to 2900.
100 to 2900. Is that where, I think I saw it where there's a low, a mid, and a high. Is that where you're referring to?
Well, I'm not sure. Consult your book, band pass, 100 to 2900, Roger?
Roger, 100 to 2900.
Yes, sir, Daryl. And so let me say 3s to you, sir. If you want to hear your Aircheck, go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 2/26/21. It will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much for your help.
Yes, sir, Daryl. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
W2KBW, W2 kilowatt, Bravo Whiskey.
There's a W2 station there. W2 station. Come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Very good. W2KBW, W2 kilowatt, Bravo Whiskey. The handle is Tom.
Roger, Tom. And what's your location, sir?
The location is just outside of Buffalo, New York, and Lancaster.
Roger that. And what radio are you running today, Tom?
Okay, we're running the ICOM 7610, and we're using a Shure SM7. And the amplifier is an ACOM 1000, and 2-pound-mounted vertical, about 40 feet up in the air.
All right, you're running a very full audio curve. You have a lot of top end, a lot of bottom end. I'm thinking that's all right, but I want to double check the rest of the setup. So it begins with engaging your compressor at a 3. Engage the compressor of that 7610 at a 3. Roger?
Okay, we just dialed in. It's at a 3 at the moment. Go ahead.
Okay, so now we've got the compressor engaged at a 3. I want you to move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak rather quickly, 100, 200, 300, 400, to get that ALC meter moving up to see where it is, I want you to adjust for mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter by way of manipulating your mic gain control.
Okay, yeah, very good. It's mid-scale 2/3 at the moment. Go ahead.
All right, now give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system. Let me hear you.
Okay, as mentioned before, the antenna system with a 0.5 ground-mounted vertical. That antenna is for 40 and 20 meters, and that's what we're using at the moment.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to take 2 clicks roll on the base, 2 clicks roll on your base EQ. Roger, roger?
Okay, we can do that. Just give me a moment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's the base roll off, and is that any better?
Yes, sir. And now I want you to go back to your ALC. Now that we've done a little EQ there, I want you to go back to your ALC with mic gain in hand and double check that you're running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's about the same, maybe a little bit less.
Right, so we want to make up that difference if we could, to run it mid-scale to 2/3. That's a very important thing, mid-scale to 2/3. The actual sweet spot that I'm looking for is halfway between mid-scale to 2/3. So it's important that you adjust that ALC via the mic gain control to show a mid-scale to 2/3 deflection. Roger?
Yeah, and that's exactly what is being shown at the moment. Go ahead.
Okay, so now I want you to find the quick button. I want you to find the quick button on your radio, the front end.
Yeah, we found it.
All right, I want you to hit quick and go to drive.
Okay.
And on drive, I want you to tell me what it's reading.
It's reading at the moment 45%.
I want you to take that to 60%.
Okay, it's at 60%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir. And now I want you to give me 10 seconds on what you like best about your 7610.
Well, the 7610 is a departure from the 7300 that I had before. Of course, it's more of a radio. It's more of a contest radio, but I just like the overall appearance of the radio. And I've always had familiar with the learning curve of ICOM radios, which makes things a lot easier.
All right, sir. I think we're in business there. Your average percent of peak modulation is up there around 90% now, 85 to 90. So it's exactly where you want it to be there, nice and full. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 2/26/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time and the effort.
Let me go back and tell me again about your antenna system. Let me check one more thing.
Okay, again, the antenna is a 0.5 ground-mounted vertical. It's cut for 40 and 20 meters.
Roger. I think that's close enough for right now. I think you'll enjoy that, and I think you're very articulated, so easy to understand. Roger, roger?
That's correct, and I thank you again.
Yes, sir. 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4.
Kilo Oscar 4, India, November, Quebec.
India, November, Quebec. Come back slowly, phonetically with the call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4, India, November, Quebec.
Yes, sir. And what's the name there?
Name is Jim.
Roger, Jim. And what's your location, sir?
Central North Carolina.
Roger. And what radio are you running, sir?
ICOM 7300, sir.
All right, sir. Let's begin with your compressor engaged data 3. Compressor engaged data 3 for our setup procedure as we begin. Roger?
Roger, it's at 3 now.
All right, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100 to 200, 300, I want you to adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Roger, look like mid-scale to 2/3, sir?
It's just above mid-scale.
Okay, and you're using the hand mic, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
All right, just keep that hand mic back towards the corner of your lips. Do not pull it around and work it directly in front of you. Always run it across that mic, Roger?
Roger.
Okay, now I want you to go to your EQ page, if you know where that is.
Stand by. Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay, sir, I want you to roll 2 clicks off your bass EQ. 2 clicks, minus 2 from where you are on your bass EQ.
That's been done.
All right, and what is your top-end treble EQ? Where is it right now?
Top-end treble is +3 right now.
Advance that one more click, boost top-end.
There it is.
All right, and now I want you to give me 10 seconds on your antenna, and let me hear you.
I've got an NFED 132-foot all-band antenna, which I'm tuning with an automatic tuner.
Okay, I want you to take one more click off the bottom end. One more click, roll off the bottom end, Roger?
Roger.
All right, and then I want you to, let's go back to the ALC and readjust the ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. When we do EQ, we need to go back at the end and go back to ALC and double check it's still running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, it looks like it's mid-scale, slightly above.
Yeah, that's quite unusual since we rolled about 3 off the bottom end. Usually it's would be less than what it was, but if you're looking at it and you're still run that mic, still continue to pull it back towards the corner of your lips, Roger.
Roger, it's at the corner now.
Yeah, that's the way I would run that. Make a mental note to always address that microphone that way, because if you don't, your plosives many times will turn out to be louder than your words. Roger?
Roger, I got you.
Okay, sir. And again, once you give me 10 seconds on what you like best about your radio, and let me look at your audio.
This Icon 7300, I really love the display and the functionality. I just like the way that it works. It's just been very reliable, and I've been making some very good QSOs with it.
Yes, sir. Jim, that is the radio of the century. You have the radio of the century right there, sir, so you should be very proud. Let me say 73s to you. I think we got it there. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 2/26/21. That will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Roger, thank you so much for the time. KL4INQ, we're clear.
Roger, Roger, 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's about 4 stations there, loudest when try it again.
There's about 4 stations there, loudest when try it again.
Papa Charlie.
Something, Whiskey 9 station, Papa, something? There was a loudest station. Try it again, please.
Kilo Bravo 2, Mike November.
I think it was Kilo Bravo 2. Is that a Roger?
Kilo Bravo 2, is that Roger? Roger. Kilo Bravo 2, Mike November.
Kilo Bravo 2, Mike November. Is that Roger? All right, gosh, I'm down in the Georgia SDR, and I don't think I need to be there. Why don't you give me 10 seconds about your antenna system, and I will seek a better path. Roger?
Okay. Diamond 735 trap dipole up about 35 feet.
And for other bands, I have a beam.
All right, KB2MN, what's the name there?
The name is Larry.
Larry, and what's the radio?
It's an Elecraft running into a KCA 500.
Try again, please.
Okay, it's an Elecraft radio running into the Elecraft KCA 500 amp. Probably just running about 150, maybe 175 watts.
Well, Roger, I do not have a real good copy on you. If you have any more power, I suggest running it.
Okay, I think I'll sign with you, and I'll come back another day. I'm glad to hear that you're on this frequency, and maybe propagation will be a little bit better between us. So I'm going to say 73, and thank you very much for your time. I'll try to get back in here another day. This is KB2, Mike November, and I'll be clear.
Mike November, I am now back on the Georgia SDR. I do have a pretty good copy on you down there. I don't know why. What is your location, Larry?
About 10 miles southwest of Atlantic City, New Jersey, in a town called Egg Harbor Township. My name is, you got my name, I'm sorry. Back to you. I didn't catch your name.
Roger, your name here is Jim Juliet India Mike. It's KC9VKV, and this is the Qso-Vlog net. And gosh, if you want to go for the setup procedure, it starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Engage your compressor at a 3 if you're interested in a setup procedure.
Okay, that's at a 3 there. That's at a 3 on the compression.
Yes, sir. Now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And while you speak fairly rapidly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can get the ALC meter up to see where it is, I want you to use your mic gain control to set it to reflect mid-scale to 2/3 operation. Roger?
Okay, Roger. We're doing that right now. And I'd say right about there would be what you're asking for.
All right. Now I want you, what radio are you running there, Larry?
It's actually the Elecraft KX3 running bareback into the KPA 500 linear amp, running about 200 watts.
All righty. Now that KX3, what kind of equalization does that have? Tell me what kind of EQ that has.
Okay, it's a little hard to get to. You got to go into the menu, and there are separate adjustments for each of the different audio frequency bands. So, you can boost it on the different parts of the audio spectrum.
Yes, sir. Does it have like a high boost 1, high boost 2?
No, sir. I'm sorry. It doesn't have that. You have to individually adjust all of them. It's a little bit tedious to do while you. Well, I'm sure you have other people that are test their rig. So, does it need? What do you think it needs? More highs or more lows, or what?
Roger. Well, let me give you some notes, Larry. That EQ, I guess it's 8-band EQ. Is that a raw parametric, 8-band parametric?
That a raw parametric, 8-band parametric. Roger.
All right. So what you want to do is to make sure that all your mid-range EQs, that is anything from 1.5 down to about 600 or 700 cycles, you want to make sure all those are flat, neither cut nor boost. Those 1.5 to about 700 cycles, you should put those all no cut, no boost, flat. And then once you have those flat, then what you want to do is look on your bottom end. I don't know, do you have a spectrum analyzer on that radio?
There's a spectrum analyzer, but you can't look at your own signal. I can only look at like I can see your signal.
Isn't that clever? Boy, I bet you they stood overtime to figure out how not to have a functional radio and not show you your own curve. Well, that's getting close enough in the boys, I guess. Unfortunate, but maybe we can get together sometime and just start working on that EQ. The whole idea about equalization is you're balancing the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. So you don't want to boost the mid-range because it would be so much harder for the bottom to catch up for balance in the top. So you keep that mid-range from 1.5 to 7 flat, and that makes it easier for the bottom end to find balance. Roger?
Roger. I'll try and do what you're talking about, and I'll try to come back a different day. I don't want to take up any more of your time because I know there are a lot of guys out there that would like you to hear their signals also. So I'll say 7-3, and thank you very much for your time. This is KV2MN.
Yes, sir, Larry. Yeah, I would love to help you with that. And I think, if someday we have nicer propagation that I can hear you a little cleaner, that should not take but maybe 5 minutes. It's not a big deal. It's just striking balance, and that has to do with the bottom end to the top end. So we've knocked that out in about 5 minutes. 73 there, Larry. And then we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV. Gosh, we're rapidly approaching turning into a pumpkin there at 5, but we've got room for a few more folks that want to check out their radio. This is KC9VKV. If you've got one of those things you want to check it out, give me a shout. I just heard the end of somebody's call. Come back and try it again. I just made it to my local antenna.
Victor Echo 3 Zulu Sugar Zulu. Victor Echo 3 Zulu Sierra Zulu.
Was that Sierra Zulu Sierra Zulu?
Roger, my brother. God bless you. It's fantastic to hear, mate. It's Sam. Victor Echo 3 Zulu Sugar Zulu. You sound fantastic. Good morning. Turn over and the car, Roger.
Roger, Victor Echo 3 is Zulu Sierra Zulu. What's the name there, sir?
The name is Sam. Sierra Alpha Mike. Sam is the name, Roger.
One more time, sir. Try it one more time.
Okay, Sam. Sierra Alpha Mike. Sam is the name.
Yes, sir. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running a 7410 with a Heil triple M microphone in. Roger.
Roger that. Well, gosh, we got a lot of bottom end for sure. And, I'm wondering if we might be able to roll just a little bit of that out. And I think it'll help you in your intelligibility. But before we do that, maybe, are you working that microphone about 2 inches away?
About 6 inches away. About 6 to 8 inches away, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Well, we've got a lot of bass still. I was thinking maybe we could pull back a little bit and get the proximity effect going in reverse and having rolling a little bit off the bottom end. But since you're 6 inches, I wouldn't want you to move any further away from that mic than that. But I tell you what, why don't we go for our generic setup procedure if you might be interested. It starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. Compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what it is designed to do.
Okay, I've taken some bass off, and the compression, it doesn't have as its numbers on it, it's just by gate. So as I turn it, and as the increase in volume comes up, then so does the compression bit. So the compression rate of 1 to 10, it's just a dial.
Roger. If it's 1 to 10, then let's just park that sucker on a 3, Roger.
Well, I have to pretend it's a 3 because it's only by movement. So I have no idea what 3 is, but I can try. That's about a 3. That's about a 3.
Yes, sir. Well, it would probably be about 9:30, 10 o'clock if that works out, Roger.
Okay, there we go. That's about 9 o'clock, Roger.
Yes, sir, that looks good. Now, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak rather rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so we can get that ALC meter up. As you look at it and adjust your mic gain control to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 40. Yeah, right. I think about there, right?
Roger. Now, my philosophy is if we do, it's going to be reading RMS, whereas if we're using actual words, 100, 200, 300, it's actually reading a complex signal, which is going to give you just a slightly different reading on your ALC. So I prefer to use consonants and actual words spoken rather quickly as opposed to a held note to adjust that ALC. But we're looking for a mid-scale to 2/3 operation on the ALC. Roger?
Okay. Maybe let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3. That's about 3/4 of the way on the ALC on text, right?
Roger that. And so I wish we had just a little bit better signal, because I love to see the limit point on dialogue. A good limiter keeps that meter. I set it for 0, and hopefully we have good conditions, and so there is no blow-by on the words. It consistently stops at where I set it. Provided propagation is is advantageous and not coming and going. But as long as we have good propagation, I set your level at 0, and then I just look as you speak, and if you have a good limiter, it just hits that 0 mark, and there's no blow-by. Roger?
Okay. Well, that's I'm going by what's crank the monitor up to that's about 3/4. That's about 3/4, and the compression is on about 3. So you got it.
Roger, I'm starting to lose you a little bit. Yeah, the whole idea is to come up with a 3 dB dynamic range. We could get it fatter than that, but when you get it fatter, you start losing the 3 dB. When it gets down to 1 dB or 2 dB dynamic range, the words become rather blurry. So in order, the whole thing that we're looking for is high degree of intelligibility. And in order to reach that, I found that a 3 dB dynamic range is absolutely ideal. If you get beyond that to a 2 dB, the words start to blur. If you get below that, like 6 dB, you're not really getting as much modulation fatness as you need. So the magic number is 3 dB dynamic range. Roger?
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, we'll definitely try and reach that particular goal. Thank you so much for helping me out, and we should definitely try that on a better day. Well, we're getting better signals. God bless you both, your family, and thanks so much for doing what you do. Keep the echo free to check to
Roger. Well, let me say 3's up that way. Good to talk at you, sir, and I'm glad that you checked in. Hopefully we've been of help to you. We are rapidly running out of time for our Qso-Vlog net. We record live from 3:30 till 5. If you want to check out your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 2/26/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Like I said, I wish we had better conditions, but we have to function within the realm of what we have. Maybe if you get a chance to check in next Friday, sometime between 3:30 and 5, we'll have better conditions, and I'll be able to hear you a little cleaner than today. But 73, sir, and you have a good day, a great weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Got room for maybe one more. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Alpha 3 Lima Sierra Kilo.
Sierra Kilo, try it again slowly phonetically.
Yes, the call is Kilo Alpha 3 Lima Sierra Kilo.
Roger, Lima, Sierra, Kilo, and what's the name?
Oh, the name is Bob, and I'm located in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I'll check back with you. I have an ICOM 7300 as well. Hopefully, I have listened to you go through the setup. Hopefully, my audio is pretty close to where it should be. I've checked my ALC, and I think I'm pretty close to what you normally recommend for settings. But I'll check with you. Back to you.
Yes, sir, Bob. You're right on target as far as dynamic range. You are 3 dB. Now, do you know where your EQ is on that 7300?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's go there.
Okay, go ahead.
All righty, and what are your bass readings and your treble reading?
The bass reading is a 0 flat, and the treble is a 2.
And the mic is? What mic are you running?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm running the Heil. Boy, the hand mic. It's not a hand mic. Come to think of it, whatever the CDM mic.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's just go 2 clicks hotter treble EQ. 2 clicks boost from where you are. 2 clicks more top end EQ, and let me hear you.
Okay, this is now at a +4 on the treble.
Yes, sir. And now give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation.
Okay, I'm running an off-center fed doublet. It was up about 45 feet, and she's possibly even favoring your direction. So how's that sound?
Yes, sir. Now I want you to add 1 click bottom end boost, 1 click bass boost from where you are.
Okay, this is 1 bass, so I'm at from the 0 to a +1. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. Now give me 10 seconds on your what you like best about your radio.
Well, I would think, like everybody else is saying, we have a lot of graphics with important information on it, as well as you get to see that waterfall and the nearby signals, especially for contesting.
Yes, sir. I think we're right there, Bob. Sounds really nice. Your like I say, your ALC reading is just perfect. Your 3 dB dynamic range, and so yay! If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date 2/26/21, it will take you directly to this recording and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded.
Oh, thank you very much. I just needed that extra polish, and I knew you had the ear as well as possibly the equipment to detect if I've got a decent audio or not. So thank you very much. Hey, it's pretty hard to make a 7300 sound lousy, but that extra touch might be very good for me. So thank you very much, K3LSK. Back to you.
Roger, Bob. 7300 has got one of the most beautiful transmitters I've ever heard, right there with the 7610. They both have an excellent limiter, and that's one of the most important things about a transmitter, I think, is that that limiter needs to be a stonewall limiter, and once you adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3, that is holding those peaks right there exactly where they should be, and I'm seeing that on my meter. 7300, 7610s have very little blow-by past the normal 0 set level. Roger?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And just to give you a signal report, you're coming in 30 over, so you have a beautiful signal into western Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate that. Well, you know, when we were building the station, we were saying 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas as we designed our antenna. And by and large, propagation may be up and down, but the antenna does fulfill its mission. Roger?
Oh, yeah, very good. Well, thanks, and I guess, yeah, you're about due for a sign-off, I guess. I guess I've wasted the rest of your afternoon. This is K3LSK. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, Bob. Thank you. We appreciate it. If you get a chance, join us next Next Friday, we'll be glad to have you. And with that, we are now run up out of time there and have turned into a pumpkin. So we're going to get out of here. Hopefully you participated in our broadcast today. And if so, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 2/26/21, it will take you to this recording. You'll be able to hear yourself along with other folks. And maybe you might like their sound better than yours, or you might still like your sound better than theirs, but at least you have a complex, different signals to look at and hear and evaluate. So we'll say 73 for now and return the frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.